Happening now, a Chautauqua County man falls to his death Tuesday, the latest in the police investigation. And a group of local lawmakers are seeking relief for rising gas prices at the pump. Their plan next. Plus, residents in our region voiced their concerns directly with state lawmakers during a town hall in Cattaraugus County.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our latest local news is coming up, but first we're dodging a couple of rain showers out there today. Let's get a first check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that. Hello, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and happy Wednesday, everybody. And it is a wet Wednesday out there. You can see the Mayville Skycam. We have some rain falling out there right now, and temperatures are in the 60s for today. Now, as we take a look at the radar, you'll be able to see the rain showers that have been coming on through the morning hours today. And there it goes. You can see the rain right there coming through. And we are going to have a little bit more of this as we go through the afternoon hours, and maybe even a couple of rumbles of thunder to go along with it. The high yesterday was 62, started the day at 49. 83 and 13 are the records for today. So through the afternoon, the early sunshine goes away. Clouds increase with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Very warm. Look at these highs. 65 at the immediate Lake Erie water to 75 well inland with a southwest wind. Now temperatures go down from here through the week, and maybe some snow for early next week. We'll talk about it with that Ultimate Satellite Solution 7-day forecast later on in the show, Justin.
All righty, Dakota, we'll see you back in just a bit. A man who fell off of a cliff in northern Chautauqua County has died from his injuries. Around 10 in the morning Tuesday, the Sheridan Fire Department, Sunset Bay Fire Department, State Police, County Water Emergency Team, and the county's Office of Emergency Services responded to an address on Route 5 in Sheridan for a man who had fallen off a cliff. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says that man, identified now as Gregory Meadows of Sheridan, New York, fell around 50 feet over the cliff's edge to Lake Erie's shoreline below. Those responding were able to rescue Meadows from the lake. However, deputies said Meadows was then transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced deceased due to injuries that he sustained. And a 50-year-old man was arrested following a burglary at a local laundromat in Jamestown this week. Jamestown police officers responded to the Center Ice Laundromat on West 3rd Street around 8 in the morning on Tuesday. Following an investigation, it's alleged that Clarence Kedwatsky Jr. attempted to break into a change machine on site. After failing to do so, Kedwatsky Jr. allegedly broke into an office door there and grabbed a security system before fleeing. Officers were later able to catch up with him, and he was taken into custody. He's charged with burglary, among other crimes. And a push to provide relief at the pumps is underway in Chautauqua County, with a caucus of local lawmakers looking to reduce the county's gas tax. The county's 4 Democratic legislators are proposing to eliminate the sales tax on gasoline starting June 1st and running through the end of the year. Legislator Susan Parker is among those proposing the tax relief, in keeping with Governor Kathy Hochul's recently approved budget. In that budget, the state legislature voted to remove the state's 8 cents a gallon motor fuel tax and the state's 8 cents per gallon sales tax. The legislation allows counties to join the state and remove the county's share of the tax, which is 4% or around 8 cents a gallon.
Sales tax is regressive, and what that means is that every person who buys gas has to pay the same sales tax, whether they make $1 million or they make $25,000 or $10,000 a year. Everyone's paying that same tax. So this will help.
Now, Parker goes on to say her colleagues are now working with the county attorney in drafting local legislation. It appears under the state's law they are not able to completely reduce the tax, however, are waiting for more information from the state on the subject. Residents in Cattaraugus County got the chance to speak one-on-one with their representative in Albany during a town hall meeting last night. Our Julia Gress is breaking down what was discussed.
With Assemblyman Joe Giglio by his side, New York State Senator George Borrello addressed several concerns, including a newly proposed health department regulation that establishes isolation and quarantine procedures for those who are suspected of having a communicable disease, and where the lawsuit regarding this regulation stands now.
It's a clear violation of the separation of powers. If you want it to be a law, then bring it forward, put it on an agenda, put it up for a vote, and let the members of the Senate and the Assembly vote on it.
Though Borrello says the lawsuit is in progress, he is sure the governor's attempt to replicate Assembly Bill 416 will be deemed unconstitutional. The senator also discussed the Climate Leadership Protection Act, which some residents believe could become an issue with how they heat their homes.
Not being allowed to have any new natural gas hookups or propane hookups January 1st, 2024, less than 2 years from now. This would be disastrous, especially up here. I think that the irresponsible part of this is that I don't care how your concerns about renewable energy, what you think, but the bottom line is natural gas should be used as a bridge fuel at the very least.
He furthered that the state used to be energy independent, but now mainly relies on power generated from a coal plant in Pennsylvania. However, the senator also explained that the governor took away the regulation to start moving away from natural gas and propane in the 2022 budget. The impeachment process in New York State was also put into question, as Borrello condemned the Assembly for not continuing Andrew Cuomo's impeachment trial once he resigned, as it leaves him with the opportunity to run for public office again.
When the people are fed up and see something's going wrong, I think recall is a way they can get their voice heard. Now, recall only means that they'll be voted on again, so they have a chance to stay.
Borrello also discussed the legalization of recreational marijuana, saying that the way the state handled the issue was careless and only to further its social justice cause instead of increased tax revenue, as it first suggested.
This isn't really about revenue, folks. They said this is going to be this amazing panacea of economic activity for New York State. We're going to generate $350 million in tax revenue the first year from the sale of recreational marijuana. Guess what they put in the budget, this budget, as their projected first year revenue? $56 million.
Julia Gress, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. The senator also voiced concerns about unfunded mandates on local governments, saying that over 80% of the county budget is spent on federal mandates. As WNY News Now continues, New York's lieutenant governor resigns just hours after he was arrested on federal corruption charges. And later, with tax day next week, a look at the final push to help families in our region take advantage of some financial relief. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Whoa, Pre-Comic Book Day is almost here.
There's comic books for all ages.
Stop on down to Chautauqua Comics at 214 Fairmount Avenue in Jamestown and pick up some free comics. From superheroes to science fiction, there are tons of options.
100% free. Just show up on May 7th starting at 11 a.m.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York Lieutenant Governor Brian Benjamin resigned Tuesday in the wake of his arrest in a federal corruption investigation, creating a political crisis for Governor Kathy Hochul 7 months after she selected Benjamin as a partner to make a fresh start in Albany, already rocked by scandal. Benjamin, a Democrat, was accused in an indictment of participating in a scheme to obtain campaign contributions from a real estate developer in exchange for Benjamin's agreement to use his influence as a state senator to get a $50,000 grant of state funds for a nonprofit organization the developer controlled. Facing charges including bribery, fraud, conspiracy, and falsification of records, Benjamin pleaded not guilty Tuesday in an initial appearance at a Manhattan federal court. He was released and bail was set at $250,000. The terms of his release call for his travel to be restricted and bar him from returning to the state capitol in Albany. He submitted his resignation to Hochul hours later. Pennsylvania lawmakers are pushing a plan to fight blight. Blight is the deterioration of homes or structures over time and often has a negative impact on the community. Lower home values, crime, and safety hazards are just a few things associated with it. Tuesday, members of the House Urban Affairs Committee announced a multi-billion package after seeing the impact of blight firsthand on a statewide tour. Erie Representative Bob Mergeski is the sponsor of the bill that would provide grants for municipalities to enhance code enforcement. He says his bill is one of many in the package that will fight blight and promote redevelopment.
The same way that blight spreads, redevelopment can spread. And we're committed to making sure that redevelopment spreads throughout Pennsylvania.
Now, the Urban Affairs Committee approved the bills. They now head to the House floor for consideration. Well, tax season is here, and the deadline to file your 2021 tax returns is on Monday. Those in the U.S. Senate say while the child tax credit helped many pocket some extra cash to help raise their kids, our local reps want to make sure families are taking advantage of another tax credit that can help offset child care costs. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
With the tax deadline right around the corner, Senator Bob Casey wants to make sure families are aware of another helpful tax credit, known as the Child and Dependent Care Tax Credit, which is separate from the child tax credit. It's designed to help working families offset expenses when financially providing for a child. It can also be used to care for dependents with disabilities.
A number of families, a lot of families, will have benefit already from the child tax credit, can still claim the child care credit. They're not exclusive.
Before the pandemic, the max families could claim from this tax credit for 2 or more children was $6,000. But under the American Rescue Plan, families can receive up to $4,000 per child, or a total of $8,000 to reimburse child care expenses in 2021.
And the reason why we wanted to make sure in the rescue plan it was made more generous was to respond to the gravity of the pandemic for families trying to raise their children, get to work, pay for child care.
According to Senator Casey, this tax credit is good for expenses from center-based care, family, home-based child care, babysitters, relatives, neighbors, or friends, and before or after school care, summer, or vacation day camps. The senator, who pulled out a chart that compares the rise in costs to the rise in child care, says many working families and mothers struggled to get back to work during the pandemic because they weren't able to afford child care, and encourages people to look into this tax credit.
This is one way to help them with their costs in an inflationary economy and to help them get back to work.
At the Capitol, Rachel Knapp reporting.
There's no minimum income required to claim the child tax credit, and Senator Casey says this tax credit's eligibility is more broad than ever, opening it up to more families. This beefed up version of the child tax credit will only last for the 2021 tax season. We'll post a link online if you're interested in learning more to this credit. And kiddos here in Chautauqua County looking for some FaceTime with the Easter Bunny will have their chance this weekend during an Easter Carnival at the Chautauqua Safety Village. This is the 10th annual event hosted by the nonprofit group, which kicks off on Saturday at 10 a.m. and runs until 1 o'clock at the Safety Village on Asheville's Bosse's campus. The outdoor event costs $5 per person, with children under 2 admitted for free. While there, kiddos can partake in games, crafts, train rides, a bounce house, and even a car track. Children can also hunt for candy at various buildings and also visit the Easter Bunny, where families can take part in getting their own pictures. Pre-sale tickets, although not needed, are available online at safetyvillage.com. Looks like a lot of fun there. Coming up, the latest on a shooting in New York City and the manhunt that's now underway for the suspected gunman. And later, we head to Warren County for an update on a local school's charitable efforts to help Ukraine. But first, the thunder is rumbling in some places today. A full look at our weather forecast when we come back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department.
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
Well, welcome back. The thunder rolls for this Wednesday afternoon. Now, something that happened last night, not here. This was in Texas, but my good friend Elliot took this picture yesterday. This is a confirmed on-the-ground tornado that occurred near Jarrell, Texas, which is just to the north of San Antonio. And so this was an amazing picture. I just had to show you guys this because this was absolutely amazing. But no tornadoes around here today. Well, we do have storm spotter training coming up tonight at 7 o'clock from the Weather Service in Buffalo. And again, just to register, it's free to attend. Go to weather.gov/buff/skywarn to register for your spot for spotter training. Now, severe weather issues down across the south. Once again, there's a moderate risk out there for portions of the Midwest and South. But around here, we actually do have a low-end marginal risk for areas further out to the east. That's the darker green color. Really doesn't include much of western New York, but once you work out towards central New York, this is where the better ingredients are going to be today for at least a couple of stronger or severe storms. So right now we're at 61 as a noon hour at the airport with a light rain shower, even though we've had some thunder here in downtown Jamestown right now. A southwest wind to 13, so it is a little bit breezy out there. So let's give you a look at the radar and show you what's going on here. So this is a time lapse over the past few hours, and This is a composite imagery. The Buffalo radar just went down about a few minutes ago. It broke. And so this is a composite imagery. So it doesn't look as good as it normally does, simply just because when you stitch multiple radars together, you lose quality. So unfortunately, but it does give you an idea of what's going on. And as we zoom out the view, you can see this warm front that is pushed on through. So this is why temperatures have really spiked today with the presence of this warm front. But that's the next cold front that's going to be moving on through tomorrow. And you're going to see what it'll do to the temperature. So rain showers will continue through the afternoon hours with a couple thunderstorms embedded within this. Then it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a break, then maybe a couple more showers and maybe a couple rumbles through the evening hours. Overnight, a couple more showers. Then look at what comes our way tomorrow. The model tries to paint us mostly sunny for portions of the region on Thursday. But then as we go into Thursday, that next cold front drops in, and then that really shakes loose our temperatures going the opposite direction. So these are the forecast highs for today. Everybody should be in the lower to mid 70s today, even with the presence of the rainfall. We're confident that we should get into the 70s. So the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, we're 63 and falling. Tomorrow, that 63 will be early in the morning. Look at Friday, chance for at least a morning shower, then partly sunny. Saturday, 47, a few scattered showers. Easter, looking mainly dry but chilly. And there it is, Justin. Tuesday, chance for a few wet snowflakes again.
Ugh, as the graphic reads, Dakota. Well, thank you nevertheless, but it's like this. We just want spring. That's all we want, right? Maybe we'll get it
We're
eventually.
trying.
Thank you, sir. Looking at some headlines from across the nation now, and data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows that the rate of sexually transmitted diseases in the U.S. dropped early in the pandemic, but then increased at the end of 2020. The data was published Tuesday in the 2020 STD surveillance report. By the end of that year, gonorrhea rates had risen 10%. Rates of syphilis were up 7%. That included increased rates of the disease among newborns, called congenital syphilis. It went up 15% from 2019, representing a 235% increase from 2016. Congenital syphilis occurs when a woman with syphilis passes it to her baby during pregnancy. It can lead to serious health problems and even death. Now, commenting on the data Tuesday, a CDC official highlighted the pandemic's traumatic disruption to life as we knew it. President Joe Biden is taking new steps to address high gas prices across the United States. The president visited Poet Bioprocessing Tuesday. It's a biofuel plant in Iowa that specializes in the creation of bioethanol. While there, Biden announced the Environmental Protection Agency will issue an emergency waiver to permit year-round sales of E15 gasoline. The sale of E15 gasoline is usually prohibited from June to mid-September because of air quality concerns. Well, the search continues for a man who opened fire on a New York City subway train Tuesday that left at least 10 people shot. Law enforcement officials have identified a person of interest now. Karen Kafa is in Brooklyn, New York, with the latest on their investigation.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams summing up the terrifying events on a Manhattan-bound subway train in Brooklyn.
We saw a quiet Tuesday morning turn the N train into a war zone as a smoke bomb was detonated and multiple shots rang out.
The NYPD said a suspect opened smoke grenades on the train and fired his gun 33 times, striking at least 10 people. Before the train stopped and stunned passengers escaped to the platform of the 36th Street station. Law enforcement officials named this man, 62-year-old Frank James, as a person of interest in their investigation, but they've stopped short of calling him a suspect. They say he rented this U-Haul van found in Brooklyn Tuesday. Officials say keys to the van were found at the scene of the attack. Company records obtained by CNN show the van was rented by James on April 11th in Philadelphia using a Wisconsin license. The NYPD says James had addresses in Philadelphia and in Wisconsin.
We are looking to determine if he has any connection to the train. We know Mr. James rented that U-Haul truck in Philadelphia.
As the investigation continues, more victims describe their harrowing ride and how quickly things turned dangerous.
All I see was just black smoke, and that's when I got hit. I didn't think, it was serious until I got off the train. I was shocked. I'm still shocked right now. I'm shaking. I don't think I could ever ride a train again, to be honest.
In Brooklyn, New York, I'm Karen Kafa.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
We have an update on a story we first brought you a few weeks ago. It's out of Warren County, specifically a Catholic school there that's been raising money to send to Ukrainian refugees. As Erie News Now's Elspeth Meisner reports, that school community has now exceeded their goal.
Ever since a Zoom call with Ukrainian refugees in Slovakia, students at St. Joseph's School in Warren have been hard at work working to raise money to donate.
Has really spurred the children to a more global understanding that there are people in need and that we can help out.
So far, $35,000 has been raised and sent to a former student of Father Rick Tomasoni, who is working to help refugees.
And she takes the money and either distributes it directly to needy refugees, or she has bought tokens with restaurants and gives the tokens out so refugees can go get something to eat.
The motivation to raise money has gone beyond the halls of St. Joseph's School.
There's a first grader that we have who goes to her own church with a coffee can on Sundays and takes up whatever change she can collect. And she herself has collected over $90 in change just by making that effort.
Father Tomasoni believes that by seeing children their age suffering thousands of miles away, the students of St. Joseph's are inspired to continue to do their part, whether it's raising money or making cards.
Little understanding that we can help somebody that we've met by virtue of a Zoom call is really overwhelming to many of our students, and their response has just been magnificent.
Elspeth Meisner, Erie News Now.
If you want to donate, you can send a check to St. Joseph's School. We have that address posted at WNYNewsNow.com. Really incredible to see the community coming together. And I think, Dakota, we've covered so many of these stories from whether it's across Northwest PA or here in Western New York of everybody just pitching in to help. And just for me, it's so proud to be part of that, where you're just willing to give whatever you can in whatever little capacity. And by looking at the stories that we've seen, it really has made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So really great. Well, tonight across our area, we'll probably be dodging maybe some more rain. I know you mentioned that, and right now we've had it seems like the first thunderstorms maybe. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
You remember New Year's Eve, Justin?
Yes, there was thunder snow,
yes,
right?
as the clock struck midnight.
So that would have been the
had
first
a little
thunderstorm.
thunder boomer.
But the first official spring thunderstorms, maybe?
So, I mean, you know, we've got storms abode out there right now. Let's take a look at the forecast for tonight. So, basically, the showers and storms are going to continue through the evening hours, then mostly cloudy with a few showers through the overnight, 57 to 62. So, windows open kind of night. Justin, have you opened your windows yet?
I have, yeah. In fact, I'm trying to remember if they're open right now. That might be a problem.
Justin will know when he goes home and he tries to sit in his beautiful, luxurious couch that he's got in his palatial estate that's all wet.
Yeah, that would be an issue. I think we close them. If not me, my better half definitely close them. So. All right, Dakota, thanks. Well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live look over a lakeside park in Mayville. Stay dry and stay connected online at WNYNewsNow.com and in our free mobile app. Have a great day.